Ding, ding, ding. Hi, I'm Mitchie Torres. It's my first day here at Camp Rock, and I was wondering, do you know where I could find the place to sign up for Final Jam?
Wait, aren't you the cook's daughter? Everyone, look! She's the cook's daughter. I bet you're not even paying for this camp, huh?
Wow, you're a bitch.
I bet you can't even afford this camp. Get in here!
Get in here! My name is Curly.
And I'm Maya.
And welcome to the Super Secret Bestie Club podcast.
A super secret club where we talk about super secret things.
Yeah, like secrets that are super.
That's what it is.
In each episode, we'll talk about love, friendship, heartbreaks, men, and of course, our favorite secrets. Get in here!
Wow, she was a bitch. I love Tess Tyler though.
So speaking on Disney villains, if you listen to the last episode with the villains of between Tess and Sharpay from High School Musical, Tess is a villain.
Sharpay, Tess would not be here without Sharpay though.
Sharpay
walked so that Tess can run.
Yeah.
And if you are wondering if we're talking about Camp Rock, we are. Okay. Today we are going to be talking about Camp Rock, which Curly just watched for the first time. If you heard the last episode, we talked about High School Musical. Now we're going to talk about Camp Rock. This one is a little more involved because it has my baby, my husband in this lifetime. I was born to be his wife, but in this lifetime I'm a fan, you know. I'm just supposed to be a fan. I'm wearing a Camp Rock shirt right now that I wore to the Jonas Brothers concert. We're gonna get into it because this has a lot to do with current pop culture things as well. Demi Lovato just released and directed and made and starred in her own documentary about child actors and talked a lot about this movie.
I need to go watch it now.
Yes.
What's it streaming on? Do you know?
I think it's on Hulu. Let me see.
This is for you listeners too, so you guys can go home and watch it too after this. You are fine, you are sweet, but I'm still a bunny.
Yes, Hulu. Hulu and Disney Plus.
Okay, cute. Perfect.
Yes, it's called Child Star. And Raven is in it. Allison Stoner, who was also in Camp Rock. Keenan from Keenan and Kel and SNL and all that. Yeah. So Camp Rock follows Mitchie Torres, an inspiring singer who attends the prestigious music camp, Camp Rock. Yay! Her mother is the camp's cook, so she gets either a discount or she gets in for free because of that. They're supposed to be Latina. Meanwhile, it follows also Shane Gray, who's a part of Connect 3, the Jonas Brothers. The Jonas Brothers. Oh God, sorry. What?
What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, sorry. Basically they send Shane Gray, who is like a bratty pop star, to Camp Rock to rediscover his music for passion. He overhears Mitchie singing. He doesn't know it's her, and then they try to like find
his passion for music.
Yes. What did I say?
I think you said his music for passion. I think.
Oh. Well, you understand. You understand what I say. You say what I understand. So, so basically, Mitchie like lies throughout this whole movie to fit in, and there's some people who like call her out, like her bestie in the movie who is Allison Stoner.
Yes.
Then she finally, she just loves music, and Shane, through watching this girl love music, it ignites something within himself, humbles himself, and then they have the final song, and then they don't kiss, not until Camp Rock 2. So this is basically the movie starts out, Demi Lovato singing whoa ho ho, yeah who to be, dun, 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 like right out of the gate. What are you thinking?
My first impression, Demi. Okay, this is somebody who does not know Demi at all outside of like kind of the tabloid headlines, right? Like I'm not familiar with her music. I didn't even know that she could sing. until I saw her like sing a song with JoJo recently. Like, I didn't understand the sort of like vocals that we were working with. And I'm not sure that I understood the sort of vocals that we were working with from a very young age. Like, she really shines in this movie in a way that I just wasn't really expecting, in a way that I was kind of like, wait, this is like a really, really talented individual. Like, and adorable. Like, she's so likable. She's so lovable. She has this wonderful, huge, big smile. Like, she immediately is likable, relatable, and you kind of fall in love with her like from the jump. This one felt a little bit more accessible to me as well in ways that High School Musical didn't. Like, this one felt younger to me, and this one felt like they looked their age, in my opinion. You know?
Demi was 15 when she did this movie.
See?
And Joe was like 18. Nick was like same age as Demi. And then Kevin is a little older. I think he was like 20 or 21. So basically, to zoom out a little bit in the context of pop culture and the world at the time, it came out June 20th, 2008. The Jonas Brothers were already a thing. They were already poppin'. And then Demi Lovato was besties with Selena Gomez since the Barney days. Both Disney girls. Obviously, Selena had Wizards of Waverly Place, and she was also on Hannah Montana, so she already had her thing going. Demi was in a little small show. It was like little bite-sized shows in between commercials called Before the Bell Rings or As the Bell Rings. And she like sang on there. This was like before she closed her gap. And I remember watching her being like, I'm obsessed with her. Like, that is exactly what I want to do. That is exactly like who I want to be. Like, I've straightened my hair for sure because I like was obsessed. And then Camp Rock came out and I was like, holy shit. Like, it blew my fucking mind because I was just starting out high school, or it was like my freshman or sophomore year. And seeing like, and I loved music. I was like, I identified with this movie hardcore because, you know, I learned how to make music and do music from my dad, like growing up, like homegrown. And it really felt like I was watching a reflection of myself, like, or who I wanted to be on screen, because she was in her bedroom starting out, like making music herself. And like, you know, I actually went to a music camp with my dad. My dad taught at a music camp to these like bratty, snotty kids. And like, I wasn't a part of the class because it was just kind of a babysitting type of thing, but he would still teach like the basics of music. But I remembered, I was just like, am I watching my life right now? Like, it was so good. And then of course, mixed in with the Jonas Brothers. Like, I just want to know also, what did you think about the Jonas Brothers acting?
I mean, I think in terms of thinking about any of their acting throughout, I wasn't necessarily like impressed in that sort of way, right? I'm not really here for the acting. I'm here for a little bit more of like the story.
But was it like, because the whole thing about Camp Rock and everything is like, that their acting was kind of bad. Like, that Kevin's acting was atrocious. He played like
Kevin's
the dumb...
acting was, He played
but
I kind of liked it.
Okay, and then also, like, a little side note, they ended up having a show after Camp Rock called Jonas. And it was, I mean, they say that they're embarrassed still to this day that they ever did the show. But I really liked it. I really liked the show. It was like music. They would sing songs and like comedic songs, and but the acting was like not the best. So that was like a little thing from like that, like Joe. I feel like Joe Jonas did his thing, and I feel like his hair was actually the main character.
So that was the other thing too, like watching the movie, they flat ironed, right? Like, that's not their natural texture.
So, okay, here's
and did they have extensions in there?
No, okay. Shane Gray's hair, Joe Jonas's hair was long and straightened. It became straightened. He has all of them have naturally curly hair. Yeah,
Look, I know
they
flat
straightened
iron.
it.
I know flat iron straight hair when I see
They
it.
straightened it and put a little bit of like molding in it. And same thing with
Gotta look this
Kevin.
up.
Yes, yeah, they for sure. That was one of the facts on here that it became one of the standout looks in the movie. Fans loved it. However, the Jonas brothers often joke that Joe's hair in Camp Rock was a wild choice in retrospect. I don't think it was a wild choice. I think it was perfect. Okay,
Well,
you want to talk about hair? Demi's bangs.
That hair was kind of like the style of the time, like in the way that the TikTokers do their hair like forward now and it's all like here. That's what people were looking like back then. That's kind of like that was what I think we used to call it like the it was kind of like the hipster look. Like it was we used to call it scenesters. This was the scenester hair. Like this was like scene kid hair. Like I don't think that it was a bad choice at all. He was kind of maybe going with what was big at the time. But I don't remember Demi's bangs in this.
Yes, she has bangs. She has like pretty prominent bangs. What did you think about her bestie? Her bestie, Allison Stoner.
Okay, so in my notes, in that what?
In that iconic scene where she's like, and then Demi's like, she's really good.
So Allison Stoner to me in the movie felt really weird. I was like, she's weird. Like she felt kind of corny to me. Like bad love to her. I don't know her. Like, but the character, I was like, she's weird. And then, you know, they kind of in the movie, Demi or Mitchie kind of like wants to be part of like the popular girl group, right? So she joins Tess and these two other girls. I think later on we find out that one of the other girls' name is like Margaret or some shit. But like Demi wants to join the popular girls, so she lies about her being the daughter of this cook, and she pretends to be, by the way, LOL, she pretends to be the daughter of a woman who is like the president or something.
Hot Tunes TV.
Hot Tunes TV, which is a company from China, right? What was Hot Tunes TV anyways?
I don't know. I think it was just like a made up thing.
But I guess what I was trying to get at is like, is it like a TikTok? Because it was like a Chinese owned, because remember TikTok was called what? Like Musically before? So I was like,
it was like a MTV.
Okay, so I was like trying to be like, okay, because when they talked about China, like, oh, I got this in China, I'm like, yeah, girl, cut to 2024 where everything we owned is from China. You know what I mean? Like there was no, but in the movie, it was pretty funny that they were like, oh, that's so cool. It's from China. Like, I want to go. Alison Stoner's character was really interesting to me. When she finds out that Mitchie is the daughter of the chef, they have this like exchange. Mitchie is accused of stealing a bracelet. Did they ever find who stole that bracelet, by the way, or where was it? Did she hide it, or did she make it up?
She didn't steal it. Tess, like, didn't she plot that or something?
Yeah, but Tess plotted it, but I don't know if she like lost it or if it was like I guess I missed the part where like what happened to the charm bracelet. But so Alison Stoner ends up finding out the true identity of Mitchie. Then there's like this like character moment where Tess makes fun or interrupts Allison's like performance, and she yells like snake or something, and she does this thing on her head where she goes like, it's like this, like major something.
Whatever, major loser.
Yeah, what? But it's like on her head, so she goes, whatever major loser. But she doesn't say anything. She just goes like this, dunk, 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 dunk. And the other girls are like, oh my God, like that means whatever major loser. And then Demi defends her new friend, Alison Stoner, and is like, oh my God, nobody told you that was old, like ill. Like, I can't believe you still do that. Here's my thing. Do you think that Demi's character, Mitchie, did that as a moment of growing in her character, or was she doing it to save her ass?
Save her ass? No, I think she was trying to get back at. She was finally kind of a little bit sticking up for herself.
Because
to
Part
Tess.
of me also was like, if somebody found out my secret like that, I would probably try to do something to be nice to that person too, so that
I
they
thought she
don't
did.
leak, so that they don't leak the story.
I thought she was I thought she did that to Tess Tyler. Like, wow, you're still doing that? Like, that's so old. And then she like walks away. She like, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
they
doing
walk
that in
away.
defense of Allison Stoner.
No, that's what I'm saying though. But is it in defense,
Yeah.
or was it to defend Alice, or was it to kind of impress Allison so that Allison wouldn't leak the secret?
No, it was in defense. I think she was finally like, you know what, like, fuck these people. Like, I don't think she was being a little fake, but I think at that moment she was not. She was just kind of like, you know what, like, I'm defending my girl now.
Yeah.
I didn't take it as that. I don't think it was that
felt
deep.
a little bit like me, like a little like, oh, so now all of a sudden you guys are popping balloons with each other and you guys are best friends because she knows your dirty little secret and
Well,
she's gonna tell the whole camp.
There's an acceptance there that she sees that Allison is accepting her, knowing this secret, and is like, I don't care, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she's kind of, Mitchie realizes like, oh, there is somebody that sees value in me and doesn't think this is embarrassing, because she's like, so what, your mom works in the kitchen, like, who cares, like, that's really cool. Like,
which also, like, so in real life I feel like we'd all be like, so what, like,
I'd be like, you're lucky, girl. Like, you guys don't have to, or they get a discount on it, I guess.
yeah. Well, I feel like I'd be in there and be like, can you sneak us some cookies? Can we go in there? What else is back there?
Did you see the Shane Gray, the Joe Jonas, when he got out of the pool?
I didn't.
Out of the water?
No, why was I, what was he, like, shirtless or what?
Yes, he gets out of the lake shirtless. And it's like when everybody is like trying to sing to him. He's like trying to find the voice, and everyone's like, la, la, la. That scene changed my brain chemically, and I have never been the same since.
Also, there's a scene where all the girls are coming up to him to like sing to be the girls. There's a trio of 3 black girls that come up to him with the best fucking harmonies that I'm like, give it to them. What are you talking about over here? Where are you going? How are you not like, I would have like, and he jumps in the water and I'm like, I would have turned around and been like, absolutely, you just harmonized the shit out of my song.
This movie is iconic because it's become a meme because it is cringy. Like, did you notice cringe?
I feel like they both made me cringe. I feel like that's all Disney movies. So I don't know that I feel like I went in there expecting not to cringe. I went in there with the open mind of it was going to be camp. This is high camp stuff. Like, this is camp for little kids. You know?
Absolutely.
I don't mean like going to camp. I mean like this is some like over the top, so bad it's good camp. Like 100% I cringed. I mostly, you know what was also really interesting to me, by the way? The styles in which they sing. Because they're very like, they put like a at the end of everything. So it's like, it's like, instead of being like, it's just a cup.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's just a cup. You know what I mean? Like they add like the.
Especially Nick Jonas. Yes.
But everything. Yeah, everything is like, I can.
Is it
go.
music's in my soul?
Yes. So, exactly. But I feel like that also was very much of the time where everybody was singing like, 'cause tonight's the night. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's rock, baby. That's rock. That's some heavy rock right there. Okay.
You and I. So,
music's in my soul.
Yeah, which I just thought was really interesting because even like Demi, by the way, I said this already, but just most beautiful smile, big old mouth full of teeth, just here for it. I love people who smile with where all their teeth are visible. I used to have that smile until I started getting like, until I got braces. Actually, when I had my braces, I was very like I sound like this. And so it felt very like nice to see her do that.
So I also wanted to mention
Yeah.
Demi had a lot during Camp Rock when she was 17. During and after Camp Rock is when she started substance abuse.
That's crazy to me watching it now.
So Camp Rock 2 came out, and this was such an iconic movie. Like, this shot her to stardom. She immediately was set to go on tour, to make albums. Her albums are some of my favorite albums.
Wow.
She's an amazing vocalist, amazing writer. Like, everything just hit. She got signed on to do a TV show called Sunny with a Chance, which was super successful as well. But during this time, she started drinking and doing cocaine. I know.
It's just crazy because how is she getting it? Who is giving it to her?
An adult?
Absolutely. But like who the fuck?
I know. And during this time also, I remember when they did the Camp Rock 2 tour where it was Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato together. And I remember she came out on stage and she was like very like rough, like very just like in the way she was singing, and like she seemed like almost angry, like she was definitely on something. And I think it was the next night that she had like an on-stage fight with one of the backup dancers.
What?
And she physically assaulted her.
What?
Yeah. So then at 8, and then that's when she was like, oh, I need help. She had like a public breakdown. And then when she was like 18, she entered rehab for the first time. And she struggled a lot with body image issues, with eating disorders, trigger warning. Instead of a cake, they would give her like a watermelon cake. Like that was like, I think like frosting or Cool Whip and watermelon underneath, because she had to be so skinny for like, it sucks that like watching it from a little kid point of view, or like at the same age as her, to know and growing up that they struggled so much with the pressures of like eating disorders and being exposed to substances, like, and then you see the movies and they're all like bubblegum pop perfect. It is like just the contrast of that is wild to me.
Yeah, it's also interesting too, because I think that just goes back to like, you can't really judge a book by its cover, right? Like for me, all I've ever known was Demi in the headlines. I've never known her as like this like amazing young little girl with like exceptional talent. And to me, like knowing the judgment that, not that much judgment because I didn't really like pay attention that much, but knowing the judgment that I had, what was it like for other people who did know her? Like what must that weight of judgment have felt like to her, to a young girl, like having so much on her? It's interesting too, because I start to think about what her parents, like where her parents were, because I almost feel, I know that from what you've told me, and I just watched this interview with like famous moms on, I think it's Glamour Magazine's YouTube channel. They had like Billie Eilish's mom,
yes,
Beyonce's
I saw that.
mom,
Yeah.
and Selena Gomez's mom. And there is a part where she shouts out her and Demi. And she talks about like how Selena Gomez and Demi used to practice as little girls, like doing the Mickey Mouse thing, ears with like the glow stick. Like they were just the best of friends. And so it's really interesting to me to think that like, it sounds like Selena had a different sort of foundation. I don't know.
Well, yes, no, for sure. I think she was leaning a little more Christian-y also. But Selena came from a single mom. Her mom had Selena at 16, named her after Selena Quintanilla.
Yeah.
They both, her and Demi both they're both from Texas, both got their start on Barney. And they were best friends, even through this little feud. Honorable mention also, I feel like I talked about this in another episode where it was like Mandy and Miley and Mandy versus Demi and Selena.
Mandy by the way?
Mandy, it was like she was like a background dancer or backup dancer from of Miley's like tour, Miley and Mandy. And they like were just, Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez were very good at making YouTube videos and stuff. Same thing with Joe Jonas and the Jonas Brothers. And so they would make these videos and Miley and Mandy like made fun of them. But you can tell that Demi and Selena were so cute together. They were so like, just the best of friends. And I think throughout, and Selena has talked about it a little bit, alluded to it, that over the years, she just could not be by Demi's side anymore because of everything that Demi was going through. So they're actually not, I think they're cordial, but they're not friends anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like, Demi kind of, and it's interesting what kind of seeing what superstardom does to anybody, but just to children especially, who are coming up in it. Like, you look at somebody like Miley. I heard someone say about Miley, they said the other day, Miley could have been so much worse. And she didn't. She's handled herself. She's now like a respected musician, artist. Like, she could have
Vocalist,
been like way worse than what we actually saw. And so it's interesting too, because I do go like, what were the dynamics? What was happening? What's the full story? And in watching this movie, it kind of goes into like, I just felt like a little bit more compassion for her, I would say. I had a moment of being like, I have a lot to learn about this human. I don't know anything about her. But I like felt bad in a lot of ways, because she was just like, oh shit, I literally wrote, Demi is suddenly nice to Caitlyn and we think it's a hero moment, but what if it was just a ploy to keep her secret? So the movie kind of is like, the whole big thing is everybody wants to perform. My understanding is that everybody wants to perform at this thing called Final Jam. And Final Jam, my understanding, it's to win a chance to record with
Connect 3.
A chance.
I think they are going to record with them for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, So Tess basically outs Mitchie's character.
Yes.
Nick Jonas's character gets upset with Mitchie, which, by the way, Nick is an asshole in this movie. Like, there was not a single moment outside of one scene where he's singing with his little guitar by the water and the wind is blowing in his face and there's suddenly like backup singers singing with him. Like, that was the moment that I was like, whoa, like I can see why people fell in love with him. Oh, and then when the three of them come out to perform, I had to stop what I was doing because I was like totally into their performance. I was like, oh
Music's
my God,
in my soul.
Yeah, they're so mesmerizing. They go to Final Jam. It's a whole big performance. There is this moment where, before I get to the moment, Margaret wins. Margaret, one of the trio of the Mean Girls, comes out. She wins because she sings on the guitar. That's my favorite song in the whole movie, by the way. That song was so good.
Yeah.
She almost starts crying. I almost started crying.
You see that the guitar wasn't plugged in at all?
Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, well, Anyway, so then I just was like, what a sweet moment. And then I'm waiting for like Mitchie and her moment to go and sing, right?
She's disqualified though.
She's disqualified, but there was a loophole. Yep. Like, you have to wait till the end of, what's it called again? Final Jam. Mm-hmm. So she goes up there, she sings. I don't know if you remember this, but it's a split second of Joe Jonas turning around in slow motion. And it's like, wow. And he's like, that's the song. And then his brothers go, is that the girl? And they're like, duh, that's the girl. But I was kind of like, that is what I wanted. I think that's where, if I was a young kid watching that movie, I would be waiting for the rest of my life for a man to turn around in slow motion and realize that he was in love with me.
Did you see the Disney knees?
The Disney what?
The Disney knees?
No, what is that?
Demi, if
I think I did. Okay, where they go like this?
No. It's like the knees turn in. I can't do it. My it's like I can't do it. It's like here's your feet and then your knees are like this.
Oh my God, let me see.
It's the Disney knees.
I did see that. And yes. And I did notice that. I did. It's funny because I didn't even know this meme existed, but I noticed those knees.
Whoa. So then when Demi comes out and she's like, I've always been the kind of girl. What are you thinking? Hit my face.
I was
So
thinking
afraid it's of the world.
everything that I was saying. Like, what a wonderful voice. What
I
a
know.
beautiful song. You know, then there's like this just big musical number where they're all on stage. They're all performing. It's just amazing. And then she kind of hits like this like long belt with a little bit of like a run in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, oh my God.
She can run, girl.
But they
She
took the
can
camera
run.
off of her for some reason in that part. And I'm like, why not keep it on her? Like, hit that run,
Because
girl.
they had to, because Joe Jonas had to be introduced. And then what did you think about when he goes, you're the voice I hear inside my head?
I mean, look, I think that there's a part of me that it will always be a 12-year-old gay kid. And I think that I was like, if that was me and William Moran.
Oh my goodness. Watching that, this movie and High School Musical, but mostly Camp Rock, changed my fucking life. Like,
I think I enjoyed Camp Rock more.
it changed my life because I really loved music. I also really fucking loved the Jonas Brothers. And I loved seeing a girl good, like with some talent.
Yeah.
Who like was just so inspiring and funny, like so like her comedic timing in this movie and especially in her series Sunny with a Chance is impeccable. I loved that end. And then like, did you notice like when they were done singing and they were just looking at each other and they were like this?
I did
For
it.
a long
No.
time. They held that for a long time. And I was like, are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna kiss?
And they
Like,
didn't kiss.
They didn't kiss. They don't kiss until the next movie.
Wow.
Yes.
I have to say that overall, I really enjoyed these movies. I really enjoyed Camp Rock. I enjoyed High School Musical. I definitely am going to watch part 2 of both.
Can I say honorable mention?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm too cool to know you. You remember that part?
Oh my God.
The shoulder.
Such a good song.
Don't take it personal, don't get
Oh, wait, that's something else I wanted to mention.
Somebody spread a rumor that she dislocated her shoulder to do that move. And she came out recently. She's like, I didn't dislocate my shoulder because it's like this. Too cool.
It's so funny. Like,
I know. Our
even that,
generation
though,
assholes.
there was a scene where she's singing that song. When Tess is singing her song at the final jam and her mother, God forbid, answers her cell phone and Tess's entire performance is just messed up.
And the mirrors. And she's like pointing at the mirrors.
Yeah, but I died so hard because I feel like nowadays it would be like if your mom was texting and you just saw her texting the whole time, like that would make you feel weird. But I feel like your mom on the phone.
I just like when she falls and she goes, ah, and she looks up and the mom is like, gives her like a disapproving look. And then she runs off stage.
Did you think it was a disapproving look? I felt like her mom kind of knew that she had hurt her feelings.
No, I took it as watching different movies, right?
Yeah. Because then she goes to go,
Go ahead.
Well, then she goes to go hide in a corner and she just bawls. She just cries. And so then you start to go like, so there's a sweet girl in there.
Yes, there is. She like tells Margaret at the end, like, you did really good. But then the second movie, she's still a fucking bitch. There's a rival camp and she's in the rival camp.
Wow.
That's when Camp Rock goes, Camp Rock.
Wow.
Camp Rock. Camp Rock.
They certainly could have used you for sure, and they would have beat the competition.
Hey, I'm still available for the reboot. Still available. Call
Is there
me.
going to be a reboot?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Anyway, let's go to the astrology portion of the podcast. let's talk about the actors' zodiac signs. I just want to know, what do you think Demi Lovato is off the top of your head?
Demi feels to me like she might be either a water sign or a fire sign. But
She's a fire sign.
Okay.
Use your psychic abilities.
I feel like she's giving me either Leo or Aries.
She's a Leo.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. She's August 20th. So she's a bit of a cusp, a tiny, tiny bit of a cusp. Joe Jonas is, do you want to guess what he is?
Joe Jonas is...
You can do this. You got this.
I feel like he's either a air sign or a water sign.
He's a Leo.
Damn.
Okay. Kevin Jonas is... What do you think Kevin is?
Kevin is an air sign.
He's a Scorpio.
Oh, man. Right when I thought I was psychic, too.
Nick Jonas, you got this one.
He's an air sign.
No. No, I'm kidding. one more chance. You got this in the bag. You got this in the bag.
So Joe is a Leo.
Fire sign, yes. Kevin is Scorpio.
Kevin is a Scorpio.
Nick Jonas.
And then Nick is... I also feel like Nick would be like a water sign.
He's a Virgo.
Oh, wow. Of course he is.
He is in their dynamic as a super fan. Joe is like such a freaking... He annoys Nick so much. Like, they've always said that Nick was like a little man. And he's always been so freaking serious since forever. His birthday is September 16th.
I kind of feel like young Nick Jonas looks like my little nephew, Joshua. Like with the curly hair and the similar eye shape. I was like, Joshua kind of looks like a young Nick Jonas. Like they look like they could be related. And Joshua also is like a little man.
What do you think Megan Martin, who plays Tess Tyler, what do you think she is? It's kind of hard to tell as their characters.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I knew Demi because I know Demi's like tabloid stuff. I don't know.
Megan Martin is an Aquarius.
She's probably the nicest out of all of them, I bet you.
Yeah, she just did actually an interview on a podcast that's under my Cultura podcast network.
Oh, wow.
And she was talking about the shoulder thing also. A lot of these like Disney Channel stars are still on TikTok and stuff, which I love. But yeah, and so actually, I don't know if you knew this, but Demi and Joe Jonas actually dated.
Oh, wow. Uh-huh.
Yes, they dated around the time of Camp Rock 2 for a couple months.
Oh,
or
wow.
maybe close to a year, but it was a couple months.
Why
it was kind of right. I think it was because she started going down a different path.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that the whole fight was alleged that this backup dancer was like kind of flirting with Joe Jonas a little bit, or like something with that. But yes, so I mean, who didn't Joe Jonas date? Love you, boo. He hasn't dated me yet.
Is he like a toxic? He's kind of toxic, huh?
Oh, my baby boy, my baby. Yeah, I know everybody is screaming right now. They're saying, yeah, because he broke up with Taylor Swift on like a 5-second phone call. He broke up with her then.
Hey, I don't think that we're good together. I think we should break up. Okay,
Click.
Bye.
And then Taylor wrote all these songs about him. And then, yeah, he's dated like a bunch of girls. But yeah, that Demi and Joe, you know, it was amazing. There's like 1 or 2 pictures of them like cuddling or hugging and stuff. Super cute. But like a Leo dating a Leo, you know, that's who's going to take the reins.
Are they still like cool? Are they still cordial?
They're still cordial. They're all still friends. Like even after everything happened, Nick Jonas especially has wrote on a lot of songs for Demi's album and vice versa.
Oh,
Like
I love
they're in each
that.
other's, they're creatively, like they've always supported each other. The Jonas Brothers have never said anything mean about Demi Lovato at all. Like I think who knows behind the scenes like how everything transpired,
Yeah.
but after Camp Rock 2, that was kind of the beginning of the downfall or beginning of the end of like this era. And because also like Demi was doing this movie called Princess Protection Program with Selena Gomez. That was like, she was doing movies, she was doing tours, she was doing albums. She was like in the documentary, I think it's called Child Star on Hulu, she talks about how they just packed up her schedule and everybody was just kind of okay with it because I think this generation was one of the first of its kind to really hit it big. So they're like trying to suck the money out of them,
Wow. Yeah.
And in turn, your body's going to break down and you're going to give in to influence,
Damn.
So I have a big place in my heart for Demi Lovato. Even though she's like, she's a little kooky girl, which I love her. I love her for that. But like, she is really one of the staples she's really that girl. She's like one of the staples of Disney Channel
that girl.
with true talent.
Wow. Also, is Joe Jonas now dating Demi more?
Demi. That's what I heard also.
Oh, well, she's beautiful, so why not?
And that concludes the astrology portion.
Well, Maya,
Carlitos, what do you think about this ride? This camp ride?
I really enjoyed it. It was a great way to get me to like relax out of like my daily schedule and like watch something that was light and fun and nostalgic. And also just like, allowed my heart to open up for these actors in a more compassionate way, in a way of kind of understanding, like, especially with us too, like we've had such a long journey in entertainment that we get to go like, and clearly like not at the same way as they did, but also just kind of like, oh, I get it. And I see, like, I feel like I grew up on the internet for 10 years, like where people watched me since I was 26 years old, 25 years old. And I can't imagine being 15 or 18 and having that sort of like attention.
And yeah, not only that, but like how many, like I remember I would make videos at 16 and there was like a couple videos that I had made that my parents were like, hey, this sounds offensive. And clearly it was just something that people at school were saying that I thought was funny, but they were like, take that video down and educated me on why certain things were not okay. And I can't imagine at that time being scrutinized, as a child actor and maybe not having parents who are focused on that or have time to give you that kind of attention. Like, I think with High School Musical and Camp Rock and all of these other things, like, I hope that it's better now. I know Demi Lovato actually, one second. I forgot what law it is.
When it's not all right. When it's not okay.
So Demi Lovato actually signed a legislation to protect financial security of child influencers, which is like, what an amazing way for protection, like that was not around when I was growing up as a mini child creative influencer. I mean, I don't think I needed it. But yeah, so she signed it into legislation like that. That's amazing.
Good for her. Look at her. Michi has come a long
Michi Torres.
way.
Michi Torres.
Torres. It sounds kind of.
Oh. So out of 5 stars, 5 being the best thing you've ever seen in your freaking life, what would you give it? You gave High School Musical 4.5.
I would give this a 4.
A 4? You liked it, but you say you liked it more than
I liked it more than High
Musical.
School Musical, but I'm always gonna be a sucker for high school politics. It's my favorite genre.
I know, yeah.
High school anything, high school drama, high school politics. It's my favorite thing to read. It's my favorite thing. I'm convinced that we actually never leave high school, and everywhere that you work, everywhere that you walk will always be a high school. So I'll give this one a 4. Because I've never been to camp, so I don't know what this is, if this is authentic or not.
Yeah, I've never been to like a proper camp like that. But this movie, you have to watch the sequels to both of these movies.
Ooh.
And High School Musical 3. We'll check back. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to another episode of the Super Secret Bestie Club podcast. Curlitos, how can people find you on social media?
You can find me at The Curly V Show on Instagram or TikTok. Maya, where can people find you?
You can find me at Maya in the Moment everywhere where you scroll. Love you.
Woo-hoo!
We rock. Camp Rock.
Ma'am, go home.
Camp Rock.
Ma'am. This is the camp for 12-year-olds.
Camp Rock. I'm like clapping my knees. Get into these Disney knees.
Dislocating your shoulders.
Too cool.
You're in jail. You're like, your knees are all together and your shoulders all coming off.
I'm actually in a coma. Anyway, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button to hear more episodes every single week. The Super Secret Bestie Club podcast is a production of Sonoro in partnership with iHeartRadio's My Cultura podcast network.
For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.